So, last subject that we have for today, and it's going to be the New Orleans Pelicans. Unfortunately, not a good thing that we're talking about. It's them and the injury bug that they are fighting. That's the biggest demon this season for them. For them, the New Orleans Pelicans are 3-9. They have the worst luck in this season, bar none. Their talent and their potential gave them hope early in the season. Unfortunately, the Pelicans continue to run into the same problems that have caused their downfall in the past couple of seasons, and that is going to be injuries, whether that is to a Mr. Zion Williamson or that's to Brandon Ingram at the end of last year or whatever it is. At the end of last year, they were fighting and competing pretty significantly, and injuries happened and they ended up dipping. And they're in the same situation now, except at the beginning of the season. Pelicans are expected to miss one of their top rising starters as well, Jose Alvarado is going to miss 6 weeks with a hamstring injury. We obviously know about DeJounte Murray going to miss some time. CJ McCollum is going to miss some time. And again, Zion Williamson is now going to be out for at least 4 to 6 weeks, where he's going to have an additional evaluation on his hamstring strain. But right now, he is currently listed as out indefinitely. His lack of ability to play is prevents the Pelicans from making the deep playoff push. He's only played in 105 games out of Pelicans' last 257. One of the biggest red flags for Williamson entering the NBA was his inability to stay 100% healthy, and he has now suffered a numerous amount of injuries that have caused him to miss the majority or all of a season. Has been a trend for the Pelicans for 3 out of the 4 years he's barely been here. So Pelicans are relying on these guys, and the only guy out there right now who's playing on offense and defense at 100% is Brandon Ingram, who is very, very, very much in the rumor mill and very, very much on the
My
trade block.
guy.
So, due to these injuries, Ingram's having to do everything while being on the trade block, and the rumors swirl and they swirl and they swirl. Man, Pelicans have some bad luck. Drew, where do they go from here, man? Because this really sucks for them. This is just as fucking awful for them. It's just someone cast some type of voodoo shit on them, and something ain't been right.
Hey, they're up 10 against Denver. Brandon Ingram's got 13 points and he's played 12 minutes so far, and it's the end of the first quarter. So if they just play Brandon Ingram every minute of every game until he gets injured, they might win a couple games here in the future. But the whole team's out till basic December at the earliest before they start getting some of these guys back. And the
Yeah.
upcoming schedule, I will tell you, is nasty.
Mm.
Obviously, the aforementioned Denver Nuggets that they are playing right now. And then they have, I believe they got what's that team that's going to kick your guys' ass in the Eastern Conference Finals that's undefeated right now? Believeland.
Cleveland, yes, sure.
They got Denver, they got Lakers, they got Dallas, they got Cleveland, they got Golden State, Indiana, Toronto, Memphis, New York, Atlanta. So in their next 10 games, they get to try to beat Toronto. This could get bad quick. Like this could end quick. And I just wonder if maybe it's time to move off the Zion experiment. I know that
Hmm.
he showed really good flashes at times playing the point, but it's just one of
Right.
those things where can you build the franchise on a player that can never, ever, ever stay healthy?
Yeah, no, I'm absolutely with you. Hey, maybe you're trying to capture the flag. Maybe in the postseason, maybe that's what we're trying to do, right, Drew? Capture the flag. Yay, nay. Not a good one. Eh.
It's okay.
Yeah. 5 out of 10. So I'm with you. I think it's time probably to move on from the Zion thing. The last thing you can do is pay this man to not play. Move on from the Brandon Ingram thing. As good as he's been, maybe try to get some draft capital for him. You have a couple of pretty good younger guys there, but what do you do right now? You just traded for Dejounte Murray. You just keep him out there, CJ out there, just kind of run the guard thing. We've done this thing with Dejounte Murray before of having two pretty good guards. Didn't really work last time. Is it going to work this time? I don't know. I think the Pelicans are probably in one of the toughest situations and one of the toughest decisions that they're going to have to make in the ensuing season. So I'm not sure where they go. I really do feel bad for them because I like New Orleans and I had them making the playoffs before the season started, and just injuries have just kicked their ass. And it's disappointing to see when good basketball players can't play games.
Yeah, I mean, and they have done a lot over the years to try to bring players in, bring players out, CJ,
Yeah,
all this other stuff that they've really made a lot of moves to try to make this happen, and it just hasn't been put together. And sometimes that happens. You put
right.
these rosters together and you think that they're gonna be teams that are gonna be able to take you to the next level, and then the games start, and whether it be by injury or it just not fitting correctly, you just realize that, the roster isn't put together in the way to make you win. And it might just be the case where they've made the changes, they've made the trades, they've signed free agents, they've done what they needed to do to build a roster, and it may just not be something that's going to result in wins for them. A
Yeah.
perfect example of that is Milwaukee. You know, you trade for Dame,
Mhm.
but Chris Middleton has 16 surgeries in the offseason. You're telling me he's going to come back and play at an all-star level? I don't think
Right.
so. All Lopez out there is 57 and can barely move up and down the court nowadays.
Yep.
And Milwaukee used to have this guy, he used to play the point, and he was an amazing defender. And since they got rid of him and let him go to some bum ass team, they haven't been the same.
Yep.
So it's just you make changes to try to get better, but when you send pieces out, you lose pieces. No,
Yeah.
and this just might be one of those things where this iteration of the Pelicans is just not going to come together.
I'm with you.